Hi there, it's Darla Kirchner with Creative Biz School, and I am really excited today to have on my dear friend and colleague and partner in crime, Miss Pattie Byron. Pattie and I go way back. We've known each other for over 10 years now, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a little while, yeah. And actually, if you go back into the archives, Pattie was the first person I actually interviewed, and you thought I was kind of crazy doing this thing on my iPad, trying to share people's stories and stuff. So I love story, I love sharing other people's stories, and so I asked Pattie to come back on because for a few reasons. You know, a lot of people I work with are online, but I also work with creative entrepreneurs as well. And Pattie is a creative entrepreneur. She is a visual artist, and she works mostly in metals. She does a little bit of mixed media, but her true passion is metals, and she's very good at what she does. So, Pattie, why don't you tell us a little bit more about you and what you do?
Sure. First, thanks so much for having me here.
You're welcome.
Pleasure. So I'm a visual artist, and I'm on a mission to empower through my art. I come from a belief that the art object holds a little bit of the artist's soul and energy, and that's passed on to the viewer or whoever comes in contact with the art. And so sort of with that idea, I create art, large-scale art for communities, and my goal is to empower and create a sense of place for those communities. I also do gallery pieces, and those are a little smaller, more apt to find their way into a private space. But they also, you know, hopefully empower the viewer and, you know, maybe helps them speak their mind or to consider things a little differently and bring social awareness.
Yeah, that's great. She does a great job of that. She's done many pieces that are public art. She has a studio down in our city of Cincinnati at Pendleton, and so she's very much entrenched. And Pattie's very passionate about what she does, and that's one of the reasons why I want to bring you on, because you are so passionate. And I think that is what. I think that's what embodies a lot of entrepreneurs. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, which we all are, you know, you have to be passionate about what you do, or you know, what gets you up in the morning, and that kind of a thing, right? So let me ask you this: why did you start your creative entrepreneur story? Your story. How did you start this, or what got you to this place instead of like going the traditional route and things like that? And we've talked about a few things in the past. So
I think it started when I was like 5.
Oh wow! Yeah, there you go. She was born an entrepreneur.
I won this. Well, I think I won this coloring contest, and then later on I won some. It was the Cherry Blossom Festival, like in 5th grade, for my art. Mm-hmm. And from then on, you know, I just knew that I wanted to pursue art. Right. But I think that when I really went onto the entrepreneurial path of it, is I became a single parent. Mm-hmm. And it was at that moment that I thought, well, if I'm going to be the breadwinner and I'm going to be supporting my family, I'm going to do it my way. And that way was a creative way. Mm-hmm. And so I started piecing together ways to make that happen by freelancing and doing commissions. I also had more traditional art jobs. You know, I would part-time work as in the art department of museums or in schools. Mm-hmm. I was an art teacher. Yeah. So I think that's really what caused it. I'm no longer a single parent, though. So, you know, I ended up remarrying, and so that's a happy ending.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know, and I know, you know, we all want happy endings, right, in our stories, but it's not always the case, right? I mean, I know. You know, sometimes your biggest challenges makes you a stronger person. So one of the things next question I want to ask you is, you know, has there been any challenges that you felt like has made you stronger, so that made you more value empowerment? I know empowering is a very big word for you. And so, you know, are there any, you know, we all don't just magically become, you know, the people. It's a journey, right? So, and it ebbs and flows. I know, you know, I've shared with you you've been there through some of my biggest challenges. And so, you know, have there been any challenges that you've had gone through in your life that you felt like, you know, okay, this really sucked, but I came out of it, and I'm the better person for it?
Yeah, you know, I've had so many instances that it's sort of become my battle call. You know? So when something goes not the way that it's planned, and when I find myself challenged or knocked down, anymore that's really sort of becomes my call to thrive. And so I look at them as challenges, and fear to me is like power. You know, I almost am, it's fine if those things happen. I think that if you get knocked down enough that you start being able to rely on yourself more and more and more. So I don't fear those challenges as much as I did before, because I know I have it in me to get back up and to carry on.
Right.
And art is everything to me, and it's usually my vehicle that lifts me back up. Yeah, it's through the art making that I solve problems, and I make sense of the world.
Oh, cool. Great answer. That's a great answer. So, how do you stay motivated? Through the art? I mean, what, like if you're like, okay, if you have a day where you're just like, you know what, this stinks, or, we've talked about, like sometimes like the weather, Cincinnati's weather. Pattie is actually from Denver, and so the weather there is significantly different than it is here. And so we've talked about that, about seasonal changes and things like that. So, but not necessarily that. If you have an off day or something goes awry and it doesn't go your way or the way you hoped it to be, how do you stay motivated? What motivates you?
That whole topic really interests me, the whole creative process.
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with it because I depend on it. But I think what the key is just show up. Just get to the studio, get to the shop, put on your work boots, and just, even if you're just standing there. This week I sort of had that. I hadn't been in the shop for a bit, so I showed up, put on my boots, and I swept the shop. And then I started tinkering, and before I know it, I have a whole new project going. Awesome. So I really think 90% of it is just show up.
Yeah, that's true. And that sometimes, you just can't let yourself go down that spiral hole, because then it's hard to get out of it. But you're right. It's like, and sometimes it's just baby steps. It's like, just start here and just keep moving. That's great advice, and it's something I tell myself sometimes, but I share with my clients. So, in getting over the fear of things, fear can really, your mind can do some crazy things to you.
What another really good trick I have is I call Darla, and I admit that I'm not being productive. Remember I called you and I said, Darla, I'm out buying fancy pens.
I do remember.
I don't need any more pens, but
because you were procrastinating.
Yeah.
Well, and that really comes back to, like I said, we've noticed it for years now, is that you build these great relationships and you rely on your friends to help you get through those times when you just go, you know what, because where you can be yourself and you can own up to things. I mean, I know I've shared that with you too. It's just like, okay, this really stinks, and how do I get through this? And we help each other out, and that's what I think makes a big difference too. Being an entrepreneur oftentimes is a very solo job.
Yeah.
And so you need those friends and those people. That's one of the reasons why I like to do these interviews, so that people feel like you're not alone. You're not the only one out here doing this and trying to make a difference. So
yeah, as an entrepreneur, you're working alone, and you've lost that accountability. You don't have a boss or coworkers or anything like that, and so you have to create your own accountability system.
Yeah. Yeah,
and clients help do that a lot.
Yeah, clients will definitely help you do that. But it's also good to have, when you're having a lull, is to have somebody else hold you accountable. And so that's something, it helps me a lot. I'm in some mastermind groups. I know that you network with different people and things like that too. And that's important to help you stay focused. Right?
Yeah, and in today's world, we can jump online. We can do it on Facebook and say, hey, just checking in, this is my goal for the week.
Right.
Make me accountable, ask me how I did.
Exactly.
So that's good.
So one of the things I was going to ask you, my next question is would you give any tips, to help other creative entrepreneurs on their journey? What kind of tips would you give them? Yeah. Would that be one?
Yeah, make yourself...
Find an accountability buddy.
Find an accountability buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And own up to your shortcomings and fears. I talk to myself all the time. And, you know, it's like just name the fear. You know, maybe you have a fear that you don't. Usually, fear is an indication that something's wrong. That's why we even have fear.
Yeah.
It saves our lives.
Yeah.
It keeps us from walking into the fire.
Yeah.
But so sometimes if we just, you know, look at it and talk about the fear to ourselves and sort of name it and chop it down, it starts to make sense, because it's usually a warning sign that something's not quite right. But sometimes we're just delusional, and we have to call each other out on that.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Another tip would be, just show up. Just show up every day. Show up, whether it's in your sketchbook, whether it's in your studio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get rid of all the excuses. Only solutions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you also push yourself too. So I know you'll like, okay, today. She tries to learn a lot. That's why one of the things I really admire about you is that you don't let anything stop you. And so you'll like, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to find 3 places that I can exhibit, that I could potentially exhibit my work at, or I'm going to work on my social media. She's got this whole social media management system that is really cool. And so, that was the other question I was going to ask you. What is your social media? What platform do you love best to promote your business?
I think that Facebook has been most effective for me, but it's probably because I'm most comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But my secret love is Twitter. I just feel very free to say whatever on Twitter more than on Facebook. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They each serve for a different reason. My newest challenge is Periscope. I'm trying to do live feeds.
and she's doing. We were playing around with this. You know, I introduced her to Periscope a couple weeks ago, and now we're both kind of hooked. So yeah, it's a fun platform. It's a fun thing. And then one of the things I want to try to do is do a little. We'll play around with that maybe afterwards. But yeah. So tips. So you know, if somebody was trying to get started, is there any tip that you would share with them? Like, you know, how you mentioned setting a plan. Baby steps, doing it, you know, just starting things and stuff. Is there like finding someone or a mentor or talking to people or anything?
Yeah, like I think to somebody young starting out is don't wait. If there's no age limit on a show, start getting your work out there. Mm-hmm. You're going to get rejected a lot, and the tougher you can get, the faster you can develop that tough skin, the better off you're going to be throughout your creative life.
Yeah.
But then also, we're always waiting for the perfect situation or for us to have all this knowledge. It never ends for a creative. I still take classes, and I will for the rest of my life, and I still fine-tune my craft. But I think that idea that you have to wait to have this merit before you can move on is crazy. You know, even if you're in high school,
right?
Start entering shows. If there is no age limit on it, throw it out there.
Yeah. Nothing to lose and everything to gain,
right? Jump into the fire. And, it's all going to be okay. Yeah. So I would say that is. And I think of mentors, it's interesting you brought that up, because I'm sort of looking again for a mentor. Mm-hmm. I think that throughout your life, it's really important to have that person that has achieved a level that maybe you aspire to achieve, and to always have that person.
Yeah, because that changes too as you evolve through your career. Mm-hmm. You reach these levels. Your mentors are going to change too, so that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm sure you'll find them. Yeah. And that's the other thing is I like to try to be one too. I always try to pay it forward, help the people that are coming up and stuff too. That's another reason I like to do these too. So, but yeah.
Well, and I think the key to anything is discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It's discipline, and don't lie to yourself about it. If you put 40 hours into your artwork, you're going to get 40 hours out.
Right.
If you're really only putting in 5 hours in the studio, you're going to get 5 out. So reality check yourself all the time. Discipline.
Yeah. So no. I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you a little bit. So don't hate me later. But I know we talk about you talk about being in the studio and working on that. What type of things are you doing to promote your business? To market it and get it out there and stuff. So how do you? What would you give me tips for people to do that?
Yeah, I think that I think that it's important to have an online presence right now, because you can reach a global audience that, you know, would take you a million times as long to do any other way. I think that you have to be very targeted. You talk a lot about the ideal client, and I've been through that. It's great, and it always helps me. So target the people you want to be noticed by.
Yes.
You know? So if you want to be noticed by museums, then target museums, target galleries. So I think that's very important.
Yeah.
There's just so many online ways. So I think get yourself online as many ways as you can.
Yeah.
Also, I think that as artists, it's very important to be active in your local art community or your city. And even though we want to be in the studio, we tend to not be social. I'm pretty social. So
Yeah, she's very social.
So, but get out to openings, you know.
Yeah.
You know, go get yourself involved, and there nothing replaces that face-to-face marketing.
Right.
You know, it's easy to hide behind the computer too. So you have to balance that with getting out there. Go to openings of artists. Go to museum talks. Get involved in everything.
In your local arts community, your local arts organization. Pattie and I actually worked together. We collaborated together and partnered to work with the local arts community here, with the organizations that are here. So go to your city, find out what's there, and get involved, because that'll really help you get your name out there, and people will start to recognize you, remember you too.
And one of the most powerful things, one of my most powerful marketing tools, is when I am introduced to someone, I will say, "Hi, my name's Pattie. I'm an artist."
Absolutely.
And that usually, you know, will start the conversation. Yeah, I think word of mouth is powerful when it comes to art.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
you have to be, you just have to be disciplined.
Yeah. And balancing it out and stuff too. You know, balancing out your time, and that's not always easy to do. I understand. But it's true. I mean, it's easy for me to sit behind the computer. I need to do the same thing. I need to get out in the area and do that networking and things like that too. So I agree with you, and try to keep that balance, right?
Yeah, I would say that most of my sales, fewer sales come from my online presence than they do from me having open studios, having gallery shows, getting out and meeting people.
Right.
Yeah,
it's good. So, so do you have a favorite quote? You know, I'm a quote girl. We both love quotes, but
right.
So I had to ask her to bring a quote.
So I have to read this because I just heard it the other day, and I heard it on Art Project, which is a really great project being put on by the Met. And it's these tiny little videos of contemporary artists talking about pieces of artwork.
Oh, very cool.
Really cool. So
Periscope.
Yeah. Marika Mori is a contemporary female artist, and she said something that sort of, you know, really touched me. And she said, "Artwork can let you see something invisible, like the holiness."
Ooh, wow, that's deep.
And so I think that goes back to me talking about the artwork carrying with it a little bit of the energy of the artist.
Yeah.
And so infused in artwork gives us the ability to see like emotions and abstractness.
Yeah, which is awesome. And a lot of people don't realize that when you're buying, you know, a piece of art, you are buying, you know, a piece of their soul, a piece of that person, that artist carries through with them, I think, through their piece. So, you know, make sure you support the arts, and, you know, in all the arts. I mean, because that's something that's, it's near and dear to my heart too, because that's where I started, you know. So, but it's important to do that, because I mean, they're just like us. Every other entrepreneur, they're just trying to make a living. We're all just trying to make a living doing what we love, and I think artists and creative entrepreneurs are the epitome of that. So, really, you know, doing what they love. So, thanks for sharing everything that you did with us, all your, you know, your story and your journey and your tips and stuff. So what's next, Miss Pattie Byron? What are you working on?
Well, you should ask that question, Miss Darla. I'm actually working with Darla on a True North Creative Retreat, which we're going to be putting on September 12th in Cincinnati, Ohio. And so that's my big project.
Yeah, that's something that I wanted to bring this up into this too, because I've done some workshops recently, this past spring, talking about collaborating with people and partnering and finding the right partners. And Pattie and I have partnered together and worked together on multiple occasions and had great success. And so this has been a labor of love for a couple of years now that we've been wanting to work on, and for various reasons we had to put it aside. And so we were just like, it's happening this September. So we have worked diligently and worked, would get together, like set time away for our week's projects to work together on this project. And so we're really excited about it, and it's really going to be for creative entrepreneurs to meet other like-minded souls, to help them with their things that they're happening with their creative process, helping them learn about who their ideal clients are. We talked about mind, body, and spirit. So we're incorporating a lot of information in this one day, but we're really excited about it. So if you are a creative entrepreneur, we'd love for you to come and check that out. And I'll put this into the feed as well, the little links and stuff, so that people can check it out and stuff. If you're a local or anywhere in the greater Cincinnati area, we'd love to have you. We're going to be at the Evendale Cultural Arts Center, which is a wonderful place right off of 75, so it's centrally located. And it's going to be a great day.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to bring both of our A games so that we can share, because that's what we love to do too, is share with other people. So yeah, so thanks for that. Is there any other projects that you're working on your personal side?
I just started a new piece. I have a whole new series going on called Fight, Flight, or Freeze for a gallery show. And that's what's in the works right now.
Very cool. It's always fun to see what you're up to. Thanks for coming on and sharing with us. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Darla.
Of course. So thanks for being here, guys, and we'll see you the next time on Creative Biz School where we spotlight our expert entrepreneurs and on their journeys. And we'll talk to you the next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.